What's going on, guys? Neil Guides here, and welcome back to my channel. I got a very big announcement, and that is that I'm starting a series called Everything You Need to Know About FIFA. And basically, what I'm doing is I'm closing the gap between the players that know everything about the game and the players that maybe the more casual players. Because I don't think there's any videos out there on YouTube which explain in depth everything from the beginning, everything from the bare basics of camera angles, what to use, all the way up until formation and play reviews, all the way until the most advanced attacking and defense tutorials. There's no really kind of information out there. There is some basic tutorials that I found, but people have been always been messaging me saying, there's not that much information. I always see the comment section as well. People are always asking questions. So I kind of want to close the gap and make it the most informative and the most elaborate, you could say, in terms of knowledge. I don't know what I'm going to call the series just yet. If you have any suggestions for the name of the series, please let me know in the comment section down below. Um, and also, if you have any feedback, or positive and negative feedback, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any suggestions on what I can include in the series, please let me know as well. I read every single comment. Of course, I try my best to answer all comments. Obviously, I understand it's quite difficult, but I'll appreciate all feedback and I'll take all your suggestions into account. So yeah, that's kind of the series basically. I was going to do this in FIFA 20, but I thought, you know what, let me just start at FIFA 19. That way I can get feedback early on, and I can know what to improve for FIFA 20. And I didn't know, but there's people to this day that just bought FIFA in January and February, and they don't know nothing about FIFA. They only know bare basics, but they found my videos on YouTube or they see my Reddit guides. So I think this will help everyone, I think. So what we're going to start it off with today is just the basics, settings. Now, I'm going to go over game settings today, not controller, game settings. Now, the most important things to know is match, rules, and user game customization. These are all for offline game modes. So those are going to be relevant. So if you go to an online game, you're only going to see probably camera, visual, and audio. Now, for match, I know this is obviously offline. I would say try to keep everything on default. You kind of want this to rep. You kind of want to rep. If you do play offline, let's say you practice squad battles or whatever you play, kickoff, you kind of want to make sure you want to replicate whatever happens in Foot Champs. So even the stadium, if you play Foot Champions right now, make sure the stadium you choose is the FEWC stadium. That's the default stadium for Foot Champs. Now, why? Now, in FIFA 18, I used to use the Santiago Bernabeu. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but in FIFA 18, if you played home, you could play on your home ground. Now, the Santiago Bernabeu is the widest pitch in the entire game. Maybe, I don't know about this FIFA 19, but in FIFA 18, it was the widest pitch in the game, and that's the reason I used it. So, you'll be so surprised that certain things like that you probably didn't even know about. A lot of you maybe didn't even know about that watching this video. You're probably thinking like, huh? I didn't know that. But that's how it is. That's the reason why I use the Santiago Bernabeu in FIFA 18, because it's the widest formation. There was more width in the pitch, and I could exploit the wings much more. Obviously, now everyone uses FEWC Stadium, which is the default now. So try to keep that formation, that stadium consistent throughout all your game modes. So if you're playing squad battles online or whatever, so then that way you can at least get used to the stadium and you can know the size roughly. So that way you're the most consistent. Now, the camera. Everyone always asks about the camera. What is my camera angle? Well, my camera angle is co-op, as you guys know. The numbers I'll show you, they're all 10 default. I don't even touch this because I'm using the default co-op. Now, I know the distribution is mainly between telebroadcast, maybe default, and tele and telebroadcast. There is a small minority using co-op. Thankfully, most of my viewers have changed to co-op, and they all know now how much it pays dividends. I mean, I got a video on my channel explaining why co-op is the best camera angle. It's the most elaborate reasoning, and you'll see proof for yourself. Once you see that video, I guarantee you'll change your mind. Even look at this image right now. If you change between tele and co-op, if your opponent's using tele and you're using co-op, you can just see, look, you can see more players in the pitch in comparison to your opponent. So you're going to be able to react faster. You're going to be able to make more informed decisions and essentially play better. You're going to be so surprised. Now, obviously, the big thing people are going to say to me is, well, I'm so used to tele. Why should I change? Well, you know what? Change to co-op, right? And increase the zoom. What I would say is, yeah, just increase the zoom all the way, and then because to replicate tele as much as you can, and as the games go on, keep reducing your zoom all the way to the default or even low if you want it. Because what you want to do is you want to kind of seamlessly change. I mean, if you jump from tele to co-op, it's going to be a big difference. Like, I understand this. Don't expect miracles. You're probably going to lose the first 5 games when you change from tele to co-op. But I guarantee you, check my video in the comment section. I mean, the description below. I explain why co-op's a better camera angle. You will see this and you'll understand. And most of my viewers have already changed. I'm more than happy with that. So that's my camera angle. Now, HUD. Now for the HUD, I think there's two that main people use. People either use the numbers or they use the player name. Now, in my opinion, there's no point having a player name bar because that just shows your opponent's player ID. Like, it doesn't help in the game. I mean, all you're going to see is, for example, let's say you're playing as nil guys, you're just going to see nil guys on top of every player. Now, how can you get that advantage? Now, what you want to do is you want player name and indicator. Now, what this is going to do is going to show the red dot indicator on top of the player, but it's also going to show the name of the actual player on the ball. Now, why is that important? Well, you see, this is very important because when you're playing against a team and you don't know who they are or what team you're playing against in Foot Champs, if you see, for example, you see a random player, you're not going to tell who they are by looking at their face in game or the color of their boots. Now, obviously, if you have Neymar on the ball and you can see your opponent has Neymar on the ball, you would know, okay, let me defend a bit differently because Neymar's a bit agile. It's basically, so it's like simple things like if Ronaldo's on the ball, right? You know Ronaldo is deadly. He could score headers. He could do everything. But let's say, for example, the ball was passed to Bale and it said the opposition's opponent had Bale on top of their name. You know it's Gareth Bale. So subconsciously, you'll defend better because you'll think, okay, Gareth Bale doesn't have a weak foot. He's only got a 3-star weak foot. So he's probably going to stay on his left foot. He's probably going to want to cut inside. That's why player name is so important. Make sure you put player name on. I guarantee you it's better. There's no point having the opposition's online ID. You can check that when the game ends. You can check that when you pause the game on the PS4. So change that to player name. The actual indicator size, you can leave that on whatever. I leave this on default. But of course, if you're difficulty seeing, put it on large. Obviously, leave time and score display on for obvious reasons. Radar, 2D, 3D. I mean, 2D, 3D. It doesn't really matter. I leave it on 2D to be honest. But you can, of course, you can adjust if you really want to. But I would say, just keep it on default 2D. For the colors, black and white is probably the best. And to be completely honest, I would say white for your colors because it's just easier to see. So when you quickly glance down, you can quickly see it, and black for your opponent. Online indicator. Now, what you want this to be is on fade. I think on is pretty good as well, but I think sometimes it gets in the way. Faded, it gives you can see it basically, but it doesn't get too irritating and it's not too harsh on the eyes. Net tension, net shape, this doesn't really matter to be honest. It doesn't affect anything, and neither scrolling lasts mainly for offline. Now, audio. Again, some people say when they play with Spanish commentary or Italian commentary, they feel more motivated to play, because the commentary they're a bit more enthusiastic, you could say. Personally, I listen to music when I play FIFA. When I'm streaming, most of the time I don't really listen to the commentary. I'm normally listening to music in the background. But whatever commentary you want to do, whatever. Now, commentary, of course, it's the same thing. As I said, I don't listen to audio, but of course, if commentary, you don't like commentary, turn it off. Same as stadium ambience. If you feel that for some reason you feel more motivated by hearing the crowd, or let's say, for example, you have a badge. Like I know if you have the Liverpool badge, the crowd sing "You Never Walk Alone," or they don't sing it, but you can hear those about lyrics. So if you really want that, leave that on if that motivates you. But as I said, I play with music, and this is the in-game music. This is obviously the music that they have, the in-game playlist. I leave this one off because unfortunately YouTube copyright issues when I make a video. If I have the music on, my videos would be copyrighted. So I have to turn it off, or else it'll be blocked in certain regions. Anyway, that's the video. That's the basics on game settings. I'll be going over maybe controller settings in the next video. But this is the basics, as I said, the base video. A lot of you probably know this already. Hopefully you learned a few things. If not, do check out the co-op video in the description. That will probably change your mind and convince you otherwise. But anyway, if you have, and by the way, just finally to say, they've added accessibility now. So if you are colorblind or you you find the player indicator hard to see, you can always increase the size by the main menu. You could remap the buttons if you choose to do so. But anyway, guys, as I said, please provide me with any feedback and all feedback in the comment section down below. Any suggestions you have for the series name, or any things you think I should include in the series. I'm probably going to release videos very incrementally. Expect a video minimum once a week, maybe twice a week, depending on how Foot Champs is, what other videos I'm releasing at the same time. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching, guys.